apologise.
That's all right. That's excuse me for that. Councillor Morehouse.
I can't apologise for absence.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so moving on to the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund Finance Committee. So, I first of all ask if we have any apologies for absences received.
We've got Councillor P. Carter, Councillor Black, personal commitments, Councillor Marie has a work commitment.
Okay, and whilst we did discuss electing a chair for the Finance STC F&GP Committee, we don't do that here tonight for STBF because we yet to have the annual meeting, which is in June. Then after that, we will then have an election of the chair. Okay. So, item 2, declarations of interest. Receive any declarations of disclosable pecuniary interest from members in respect of business to be transacted on the agenda. Do we have any? No. Agenda item 3, minutes of the Finance Committee from Wednesday the 15th of April. Consider any matters arising from those minutes. Do we have any comments? No? Do we have to propose?
Just on attachment 5D, we still haven't kind of resolved that in my mind. This business about the drawdown of the £35,000.
Did you meet with?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Okay. You'll be able to know, yes. Yeah. Okay. I think that is on the action log, isn't it? It is on the action log. On the contract. Okay. So happy to propose somebody?
No.
That's brilliant. I'm happy to second the vote on the minutes. And that's one abstention. Thank you. Who's wants to do that? Thank you very much. Moving on to agenda item 4, public participation. Do we have any requests?
No.
Agenda item 5, receiving the payment schedules and financial reports. The first is to receive and approve the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund, Guildhall, Tollbridge Fund, museum payments, and museum payment schedules for March and April 2026. Are there any questions, queries on these, please?
Sorry, just something left off the page in relation to Cloudy IT.
Oh, yes.
There is a new computer at a net cost of £518.
Yeah.
But the VAT is shown as £252.
Mm-hmm. And that's because there's another payment elsewhere that's already been done as a deposit payment, and that's the reason for the adjustment. So it's claiming back the VAT and full purchase then.
Right, so
we had a credit on the account basically.
So the full purchase price must have been over £1,000 for the computer.
We had a credit on the account, yeah. The purchase price was not that much, no. We had other stuff that was purchased from them. We had a credit on the account. From memory, we had.
Let's have a look at it. Just
you can probably go through it when you want to.
When they come down and
take action on that. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Who was the computer for?
Museum manager.
Sorry?
Museum manager? No.
Technically not. It's
okay.
just moving things around. I can go through it with you when we go through it.
Okay. Here's an action. Thank you very much. With that action, I'm happy to propose the schedule. Seconding, Councillor Anderson, vote on that. That's unanimous, thank you very much. Moving on to attachment 5B, that's to receive and approve the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund, Guildhall Tollbridge Fund, Museum bank account reconciled statements for March and April. Any comments on those? No? Proposed, Councillor Green, Councillor Pennington seconded, vote on that, that's unanimous. Thank you. On the page. 5C, to receive and approve the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund Group Cash Book Statement for end of March and April. Any comments on those? No. I'm happy to propose those. Second Councillor Green, and vote on those. It's unanimous. Thank you. And finally, to receive the Court Achievement Report for March and April 2026. So
Have
we,
you done a budget variance? Right.
yes, we've done them
All
all.
right, sorry.
Yeah, 5. I have done them, right? A, B, C, and D. I think I have.
D.
Yeah, just
I've
on
got
B.
A, B and C.
Yeah.
Okay,
D is the.
okay, right.
Well, let me just, let's
Oh,
do
sorry,
it.
no, it's not, it's the financial budget comparison, right?
Yeah, apologies. So I ticked it too early. To receive and approve the budget variance report for Guildhall Tolbridge Fund Museum for year to end of March 2026 and end of April 2026, together with any commentary. Yes, I definitely did do that. Thank you very much. Any comments on that? Yes, proposed. Seconded by Councillor Wiles.
Yeah.
Unanimous, thank you. And then attachment 5E, so we've got the reports from Quilter Cheviot. There are 2 reports to receive. We also have a Quilter Cheviot review for charities document included. So just talking about the review for charities document, I would suggest that's shared with all all the trustee, yeah, rather than the justice group, because it's a broad document, just giving a sense of their performance and opportunities and constraints and issues. So back to the actual reports at all. Any observations on those?
No, but sorry, can we just go back to the financial budget comparison?
Yeah.
So there's a commentary report at the end of that.
Yeah.
In which we've been asked to receive this report and consider the changes recommended.
So what changes?
I think this possibly, sorry, if I may, I think this possibly comes back to the meeting that we need to have. Because that was part of all this work that was being done, because that's actually shown the reason why money's had to be moved between the different entities. And so if we have that meeting, that's probably something to be deferred to that particular thing, because it justifies why they owe them and why then they owe them. So it's money movements rather than cost movements.
Okay,
And I can
I'm
show you
happy
that.
with that. To note the report on
Yes.
that. Sorry,
Yes. And
and
come back.
come back after the meeting.
So Councillor Green's proposed that. Councillor Wiles second, Councillor Anderson, do a quick minute, so that one. Agreed. Now we're going to go to Cheviot, I think. So we've got any observations? I mean, it looks fairly standard in terms of performance. Be it good or bad,
Yeah,
but standard.
same ballpark.
Any other comments from anybody?
I found that report on review for charities very useful and interesting, and I think it would be.
I thought it was well presented. Yeah. That's good. Thank you very much.
I think going forward that this is something they're going to do on a regular basis.
Is it?
Because from the meeting that we had with them, we said that it would be very useful to obviously have things which are far more attuned to what we're doing,
Yes.
rather than something that's treating the whole world and not our industry.
Yeah.
So I also went on I went to a meeting with them where they spoke about how they're presenting this going forward and about it was actually for different charities. So it's very much a thing that they want to do going forward and provide more useful information for you.
John, would you mind actually emailing them and say that we've seen the report, we actually thought it is of value and positive feedback on it? Because if nobody says anything, then it's all from the producers always, well, am I actually adding value?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, so any comments on those reports? If not, are we happy to receive the reports that we've got? Councillor Wiles has proposed a receiver. Councillor Green seconded. And that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to agenda item 6. This is to receive the updated action log. Again, I've looked through this, so I can't see anything that jumps out significantly, but happy to take any comments from the floor. If not, can we receive the reports as it stands? Proposed. Councillor Pennington has seconded. Thank you very much. That's unanimous. Okay, so the meaty bit of the meeting, I think, probably, the attic fire safety report.
Yes. So I instructed the company to come out and have a look at the attic. Obviously, there's been different comments that have been made by previous assessors over the years. So the idea was to get another opinion on it. And yeah, I mean, it was a fairly long meeting and we assessed all different, aspects of it. But the key point is that previously, or as we stand, as we're up there today, we're too far away from the exit door that you enter when you come to your meetings, next to the museum manager's door. It's too far away. And there was a sort of hatch that ended up, would take people into the loft, which is absolutely unbelievable that was ever put in there in the first place. So the bottom line is, by making it's not overly expensive, some changes, we can actually create the equivalent of an FD30, which is fire door 30, gives you 30 minutes of protection just in the lobby area. The second door you would come through, and then the measurement starts from there. And with the measurement starting from there, and they can go either way, straight ahead or down the stairs and out, we can actually use the first section of the room. So the main, as you come in through the door, upstairs into the attic, that first room could actually be used. I mean, I asked them to assess it as if it was an office, people working there all the time. So it can be used. That is subject to another couple of changes. Most importantly as well, that obviously we're going to have to block off that hatch at the back, so people can't come, you can't go out that way. So the area could be used up to 4 people. Of course, it doesn't change the fact that it needs to be cleared. There's so much stuff up there. So the room does need to be cleared. There's some sort of special paint that needs to go on one door, and we've got to tidy up the wiring and everything else, but it can be done. People will be able to work in the other rooms that come off that. That will be to go retrieve the documents that you want and then come back to the office, which will be the safe area there. And obviously subject to fire sort of induction training. And it doesn't make any difference if it's staff or volunteer or a member of the public wanting to be there. So I think we've got a situation where, this is sort of, it is health and safety in any event. And even if you said we don't want to do anything upstairs, I would still be recommending that we block off, we improve that door anyway, because it will provide some additional protection. And certainly having a room that takes you in, a hatch takes you into a loft is not suitable. So I think we've gone a long way compared to where we were before. I think this gives us the answer that we're looking for. Yeah. But we still need to, it still can need to be cleared up there. And that's why part of my report is making a start on that, removing the heavy furniture, getting some of that, getting that out of the way, and then really needs to be someone taking responsibility and say, right, here's some columns here. This got to be thrown. This belongs to so and so. They've got to, 14 days to collect it, or it's going, or we charge you. And this is, this is what we want, but where are we going to put it? That's it.
Thank you. Councillor Anderson.
I read this report and cheered because.
So did I.
Well, I've been worried ever since the archives started to be moved into the archives, what I think of as the archives room, which is the other side of the archive. I've been concerned as to where users of the archives would be housed, because there's no point in having archives unless they're accessible. And supervised. They have to be supervised while they're being used, because archives, by their very nature, are documents which can be tucked into anything, a handbag, a briefcase, and just walked out of the building. So you cannot allow that to happen. And I've been very concerned that there isn't, from what I've seen, enough space for users and supervisors to sit where the archives are going to be, as I understand it, wholly stored. So it seems to me that this new fireproofing and risk reduction and so on for an area upstairs which could be used by archive users and where there would be enough space for supervision is the answer. And I'm very pleased that we're making some progress on this.
So, yes,
So the hatch, the small hatch will be
Yes.
locked.
Yeah, it's been padlocked, and we need to take away one of the signs that say fire exit,
Yeah, but the people,
take off the light as well above it, and we're going to repurpose that somewhere else.
but the people who are working in the archive will be able to go through to retrieve
Yes, they can't go any
All the-
further than that.
all
Yeah.
the way to where the boiler and
They can go straight through to the hatch.
all the way.
Yes, but they won't be able to get into the loft from there. So where the hatch is, in the attic, as you come to the furthest point, where that hatch is, that's where they'd stop. They can't go into it, they can't go
When
into the loft.
when you go up here into the first room, you
So you
can't,
go through the first room, yes, then into the second room,
yeah,
where the clock would be, one side, and the other side where all the yellow pages are. That's your final
they can't go
room.
through the low hatch because that will be locked.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, don't
They
go
won't
in
be
there.
able to go through that to retrieve documents or
There's
someone.
no other document, all we've got in there is our brochures from other people,
Okay. It's all,
or our brochures,
Yeah.
so
but this area will effectively be an archive and processing room
that's right,
for moving stuff down to the.
yes, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, that's different from what I had envisaged. I
No.
thought it would be a user's room.
It is, it can be used, yes, it's an office.
Yeah.
We could have, so yes, that is used as an office. The other rooms, people go and collect what they want and return it to the office, which is, yeah.
Under the supervision of the museum manager.
Yeah.
yes.
I think the museum manager's point was that she's one person and she cannot address that space on her own. She needs help.
She has to
And-
have volunteers.
Yeah, she has to have volunteers, and so this work needs to be done so that we can have volunteers and staff members and people up there safely and insured to address the issues.
I mean, it needs someone can lead that as a kind of trusted employee almost, but not paid. Who can sign up to all the confidentiality and, protection of the archive issues and supervise a team of people, because it needs a team to.
Oh, yes, and they can have a team
Process all
up
that
to 8 people can be in that as an office for initially, but.
Several of us have been up there.
Yeah,
We know what it's like.
Yes.
It's
yeah,
Aladdin's cave.
I welcome the report. I think it's a great first step. There's a lot of work to do, but this is part of the enabling work to be able to move forward. And thank you, Julian, for doing it.
So I've just got one comment around some of the details. So the clearance work, I mean, it makes reference to the yellow pages and they've been mentioned many times.
Yes.
But can I just test, who, making the statement, any other documents that hold no obvious historical value, who is making that assessment?
exactly. Who is making that assessment?
Oh,
That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
So the person
Yeah.
who should make the assessment is
Yes.
the museum manager.
Because,
Yellow pages to many might be an irrelevance.
Yes.
However, they may well have been donated to the museum. They may well be part of the archive. I don't know.
yes,
So
exactly.
it's the museum manager that has to be very clear. So anything that's taken out of there,
Oh, I could have gone on.
the museum manager's got to give.
Yes. I mean, it could be the first edition ever of Yellow Pages and we've got them and folded in a bit, yeah, so.
Thinking about maybe putting stickers on things or, dots.
Personally, I think we did a document with
Yeah,
columns,
document,
stay,
dots,
go,
yeah.
and it's signed off.
Yeah. as
Now
long
I
as-
know exactly what we're
Assistant,
taking.
whatever it is.
Yeah, as long as the museum manager is
Yes.
driving that part of the
I
process.
totally, yeah, that's what I want. Yeah.
Property managers are brilliant at properties, but not necessarily there to get.
No, they've got the all
historical stuff.
I end up with two guns and a sword.
It's Magna Carta.
Yeah.
Classy.
I think it needs more than the museum manager. It needs a kind of triage system where the museum manager leads, but it has to have professional advice from other people about the value of any artifact or document.
It's very possible.
Yeah. I mean, whether a working group could be created just literally, focusing on that, on that area.
Museum.
Yes, Yes, so it's going to be taken into the
Yes.
museum and archives meeting discussion, but there are people out there who are very, very informed about
Yes,
the archives.
Yeah.
We could engage them. Okay, so but I think there's a report around property management, it's brilliant, very good.
Could I say also that the report from 3 or 4 years ago, I always felt that was
You
a
did?
knee-jerk reaction,
I,
and that there were always physical solutions to this problem.
yes,
And the fact that you've identified those is brilliant.
Recommended.
thank you. Yeah, I felt the same, that's why I wanted to get another opinion,
Yeah.
you know, on there, so, yeah.
So we've been asked, there are 2 recommendations. So we're going to receive a report, and then if we do receive it, then we've been asked to agree that the works can go ahead for the sum of £620 plus VAT, and to agree that the initial stages of clearing space can go ahead for the estimated sum of £400 plus VAT. So could vote on receiving the report. I would propose it. Somebody second, Councillor Green, and we've all agreed to receive it. And the first recommendation to agree that works can go ahead for the sum of £620 plus VAT. So second, Councillor Anderson, vote on that. Yeah. And thirdly, to agree initial stage of the clearing space with the caveats that has to be done in the correct way, can go ahead for the estimated sum of £400 plus VAT. I propose that. And we've unanimously done that, that's good. And then move on to the lift emergency work. So this is retrospective.
It is.
So do you want to, and the report's very clear. Do you want to quickly?
Yeah, I'll be brief. Under the town clerk's delegated powers, we went ahead with the repairs.
Yeah.
It's critical.
Yeah,
It was
council
safety,
stuff.
yeah. We couldn't get, people were, it was quite a stressful few days till we managed to, to get this sorted out. I spoke with our engineer, the surveyor from Zurich. I just wanted to know, look, with this particular system, is there anything else that's likely to cause problems? And mechanically, they say they're fantastic, they're really good. But of course, the electronics are 23 years old, 23 for 24 years old. So it was one of those, it's a failure that's happened. Those parts are not available, but some company managed to get hold of some. Of course, the price is, is high.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been repaired. It's all okay. Rather than taking it out of reserves, I've obviously said to be able to relocate the funds out of a couple of the budget lines. I can see I've made a mistake actually on the pointing, because by taking away 2,350, we would end up with 2,650, not
Yes.
2,750. So I apologise for my mistake. Very rare. I know. This today. So I'm saying rather than taking them out there, I propose that they come out of the budget. And the only reason we can do that is that I had a lot of work undertaken on the roof just right at the end of the last financial year.
Yeah.
So I had more tiles replaced than I thought I was going to have. That's the reason. And on the pointing, I actually there was a lot more pointing carried out, because when they gave the original price, they were looking at, there's like little heli bars that hold, there was a couple of crack bricks, heli bars that hold them in, but we couldn't have them done. Alison Cummings would not accept those, that was done. So on that basis, rather than, so we had a few £100 extra, I said, carry on with the pointing. So we got some more pointing done. So by taking it out of this, I'm still leave us with a comfortable amount remaining on both of those items, and we don't need to go into the reserves. But most important, lessons for the future, which I think is really, really important. So we need to be putting ring fencing money for the next financial year going forwards on these big spend items.
Yeah.
So although I'm saying mechanically they're fine, but if we have a problem, we've got to be able to have that sort of, covered. So I think that's really it in a nutshell, but happy to take any questions that you may have.
Yeah, so we'll have a conversation.
What do you think the life of this lift is? I mean, how soon are we going to have to replace it altogether?
So it's about 26 years at the moment. Sorry, it's 24 years old at the moment. I'd hate to say how long, it's going to be, but we've had work done on it over time. So they've come up with things. It's sort of general maintenance we've had done. But the actual lift company that come out, Canterbury Lifts, they sell lifts. And I said, how much would this cost?
Mm.
They said between 55 and 60. They didn't want to sell me one. If I offered, they didn't want to sell, they said, what you've got is good. It's a high quality lift, doesn't actually get that much use. So on that basis, I think as long as we put enough money aside, I'm fairly comfortable on the mechanics side, but of course the electrics, I've had them check everything else and that's all okay. What I will do soon is just to have a look, because we do get a lot of outages here. We've had a lot of problems where electrics have suddenly gone and then come back on. So whether that could have been a factor, I saw the component that we're talking about, it's virtually blowing through the plastic casing. So whether we look at, or I will certainly be looking at, perhaps, do we need extra lightning protection? Is there something else that we can do?
Surge,
Exactly.
a surge.
But to answer your
I'm trying to
question,
think what
it is
call
good.
it, a surge preventer.
That's it. Yeah. So we will look at that. But as far as that lift goes, yeah, it's a high quality lift. You couldn't find a high quality lift like it now. If you went to replace it, it wouldn't be as sturdy, So yeah, I hope I've answered that question for you.
I
Okay.
was just going
Yes.
to make the point that, sorry,
Yeah, okay.
some lifts in some buildings are really, really old, aren't they? So
Yeah.
it's not unheard of to have,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and it's not
Yeah.
like that.
Yes. So, thank you. So I think that's all the comments. But I was going to say that actually we should add a further recommendation in, because you do say you want to recommend it in any case, so it should be a recommendation, which is that £3,000 per year is allocated. That will have to go through STBF itself, I think, because it's a commitment for future, but I think we should be recommending that.
Yes.
To take to STBF.
For the following financial year, I was
From
thinking that.
27, 28.
Exactly. Yes, and assessing what we need, during the year. And, yeah.
So I think we should have a report on that before we get to that financial.
Yes, I think sort of September time, perhaps.
Yes, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
So we could have that in. So we've got 3 recommendations. First, to agree that the lift should be funded from the reserves and leave the 26-27 budget for the roof, and pointing out the current levels, subject to that £100 difference to be amended. Happy to propose, Councillor Pennington? Councillor Anderson seconded, and 1 abstention.
Is that what?
Sorry, no, what I'm saying is either we pay it out of the reserves, or my recommendation is that we take it out of the existing budget lines that we have available to us.
Is that what I say? To agree the lift should be funded from
Reserves.
Yes,
That's one. Or the second option is rather than taking it from reserves, my recommendation is that we take it out of 2 budget lines.
Right, so
Yes.
there are options rather than recommendations. So it's an either or, is it? Is that what you're saying?
I've asked you to select one. Yeah.
Fine, okay. Right.
My
Your
recommendation
recommendation
is number 2, which is take it out of the budget for 2 items that we've already spent.
So let's start with number 2 first. And
Yes,
if that
yeah.
passes, we won't do number 1. Is somebody have to propose the second one, which is agree with the property manager's recommendation to relocate some money from the budget from both the roof repairs and pointing? Propose, Councillor Pennington, and that's unanimous, okay? But if we can then add in the recommendation that we want to recommend to STBF to consider that £3,000 per year is allocated from the 27-28 financial year onwards. With the allocation increasing by 10% annually to reflect inflation, rising contractor costs and increasing operational demands that have been placed upon the lift.
Yes, because it's
So I'm happy to propose that. Councillor Wise, second, and that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay. Final item, date and time of the next meeting, Wednesday, the 24th of June 2026, after STC F&G Committee meeting place. Thank you.
Thank you.